loves, and welcome to another studio vlog. This is going to be a exciting one. We'll be doing some Patreon prep stuff and then also some update stuff for a big shop update that's going out on June 10th. So we've got the beginnings of that shop prep and I'm really excited about it. So mark it on your calendars, get hyped, get ready, woo woo. I don't know why I keep doing that now. I think this is the second time I've done a whoop whoop in one of my video voiceovers or intros or talking bits. But anyway, so this is a long one, so I'm gonna try and keep this part short, and I will catch up with you at the end of the video to remind you again to come back. I'm posting videos super often on this channel. I'm gonna go back to posting every Thursday starting next month, but because Mermaid is happening, I'm also posting on Mondays, so like, it's a lot. But yeah, let's get into the vlog. Good morning. So today is Sunday, May 2nd. So I'm working on a Patreon plan because one thing that I really want to focus on is building my Patreon. I am already happy about the stuff that I'm putting out in May, so it kind of worked out. I think this is a great month to promote like my Patreon rewards. These are all upside down, aren't they? Because like, look at these. They're friggin' super cute. Super cute. I think May's already off to a good start. But yeah, that is my update. I will catch you later. Right, excite. I just got one of my new No Issue custom stamps. I'm a little bit nervous because it looks so small and it should be bigger than the last one that I got. I made sure to get bigger sizes this time around. So let's see. Oh, this one is the okay, this is what it says. Oh, I think they stamped that. They didn't do the best stamping, but let's see. Yes! I am digging it. I'm digging it so much. Oh, this is great. This is great!
Paper. Dozens of sketches of my sisters escaped. They exploded across the hall like macabre confetti. In the pictures, they were doing things, ordinary things I've seen them do all my life.
Okay, so at this point we are off to working on the Patreon rewards. I knew that I wanted to try and get as ahead as possible on all of this since May is a very busy month with Mermaid going on and then the shop launch or shop prep update. Oh my goodness. I knew that I was going to have a shop update and that I was going to be working on my business plan and just so many different things. So I'm trying to get ahead on all of my Patreon stuff. So I'm actually packing April and May since I had gotten all of the May stuff done in advance. In this case, I ended up making these little tags for my patrons that have the different tiers on it. So the thank yous, so that it's easier for me to package everything. Anybody's first month, I write welcome. I started adding the month that this is for, although I have forgotten on some of them. So if you don't get that, I apologize. And then obviously the person's name. I also have something similar for my shop orders. But yeah, now I'm just going through and adding all of the goodies. I had 3 new patrons over the span of these 2 months. So I ended up putting those in the larger ones because you end up getting the Patreon exclusive print for that time, which gets updated once or twice a year. And then I went in and started working on the April rewards and just kind of filling all of that out and figuring that out. And it was a lot of fun, admittedly, to work on doing both of the months and kind of assembly lining the whole situation. I did send everything out separately so that people still ended up getting 2 separate packages, even though I was doing them all at once, because previously I used to do my Patreon rewards the following month, but now I'm trying to fulfill them during the month since my shop is open at a regular basis. I guess it's just always open at this point. So when I go to drop off shop rewards, I also end up doing whatever new patron stuff that I have. And then I ended up getting this little thing to kind of help moisten. Oh God, that's such a weird word. The envelopes for packing everything, and then I try and make sure that I have like a do not bend sticker and just make sure that everything is nice and secure and safe and all of that. And oh, of course you gotta add those thank you stickers. Now it is true that sometimes these change a little bit, but yeah, I'm still figuring out and always trying to improve my packaging and make it as useful as possible. And now we're on to a shop order. Finished all of the Patreon rewards for April and May, and I have to admit, I wish I had this many to do every month because it was so fun kind of like laying them all out and assembly lining them. I don't know. I'm excited for my Patreon's growth. Hopefully that continues to happen because I can just see it being a lot of fun. So moving forward, that's actually not gonna happen again, just in general, because I am planning on doing Patreon rewards as I do regular orders as well. I only have 1 order right now that I need to worry about, and then I have 2 Mother's Day cards, one for my mom and one for my stepmom. And basically that means I am ready to drop everything off tomorrow. I do still have to print out the label for this one since it's the only order I have. I haven't added anything to the package since there's no worry about it getting lost. I packaged it up. It's all good to go. Look at Oscar being cute in the background. He's so adorable. Oh man, today is a productive studio vlog day. So I ended up printing out more of my little thank you cards for my patrons. I originally made these for my patrons, but I realized that it would be better if I made ones using the different reward tier icons. So I have the witch's hat icon for the witch hat tier and the grimoire for the grimoire tier. And then that way, not only can like people see what tier they are when they get it, but it also helps me when I'm packing. All of these are fully ready to go. I added all of the stamps and everything. All I have to do now is print out the label for this one. Hello loves, I'm Tatiana Volkt, and today we're going to talk about being successful. This is something that I've struggled with quite a bit over years. Now, starting back in 2013, I built a business called Love Teacup Kisses that gained a lot of success in a few short years. Okay, so after watching me work on voiceover, editing, whatever, which I don't always actually do like this, but I was trying something new out, let's share some awesome Happy Mail that I received. I ended up ordering this from Monkey Mintaka April over here on YouTube. I'll have her linked down below, and I thought it might be fun to start doing these quick little features in my vlogs because I either order or support a lot of different artists, and I thought this would be a fun way to share new people. So I'll have her information linked down below if you'd like to get some of these goodies yourself. Okay, so I have all of my packages all ready to go. I have personal stuff, I have shop stuff, and I have Patreon stuff. So I am going to walk down to the post box and get this going for you guys. Okay, on my way to drop off all of the Patreon rewards and shop goodies. It's a much nicer day today. It's not nearly as windy. It's a lot hotter and the breeze is nice. It's not obnoxious wind, it's just cooling breeze, which is really enjoying. Really enjoying? Oh God, words. Which I'm enjoying quite a bit. I just got back from dropping off everything at the post box. It was really nice and pleasant, the walk this time. Last time it was super windy and it was just not very enjoyable. So I'm glad it was just because of that, not because I'm horribly out of shape. I also decided that the Cyclops Mermaid is going to be a Patreon exclusive. I'm really happy with how it turned out. This is one of my favorite designs out of the two. I don't know yet if I'll be doing this every month, but I might do it like every other month, every month, I don't know, we'll see. But I did want to do something a little bit extra special for my patrons because I'm so grateful for everybody who is supporting me over there, and I really want to make it a fun and exciting experience for everyone. I also want to play around with the type of designs that I do for everything moving forward. I want to put more effort and emphasis into designing for the specific things, because right now I usually just do 2 designs and then I use those designs to create other stuff. I think for the next round I might try to see if I can do a design for the postcard, a different design for the bookmark, a different design for the sticker, etc., etc. I think that might be more fun. And since a lot of the things that I make for this does end up in my shop eventually, except for anything that is Patreon exclusive, it does allow for more interesting things to go into the shop. And then I still need to set up and test out and use my big fancy printer because I haven't used it in a long time, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to clean the print heads and do a bunch of work just to make sure that it can be up and running, which I'm a little bit nervous about. I feel like that's been holding me back from actually using it and printing stuff myself, because I just know that it's going to be a good deal of work and it might not work. And since this is such an expensive printer, I really don't want to deal with it being broken because I haven't used it in like a year. Okay, so before work, I'm spending a little bit of time brainstorming the physical rewards for June. It is currently May 5th. I'm hoping that within the next 2 weeks I'll be able to finish the designs and get those ordered so that I have them for the beginning of June. So I'm basically in the brainstorming phase. I also want to do some more interesting special designs. So instead of my usual 2 postcards, 2 bookmarks, and 2 vinyl stickers, I want to just do something different. I'm thinking perhaps a sticker sheet, a print, a landscape postcard with a normal postcard background, because I've kind of been doing my postcards more as print postcards instead of actual postcards, so I want to actually make it a postcard this month. And then probably still 2 bookmarks, I'm not sure. I don't know, I think I'm going to do a ton of different designs, and then based off of those designs pick whichever one I think will be the nicest for the rewards. And I might get all of them made and make some of them myself. Like if I do a sticker sheet, I think I'm going to do that in-house. I might do all of that, get it all made, and then some of it will just end up in the shop eventually, and the rest of it will go to my patrons. I'm also thinking of doing another Patreon exclusive thing this month for June, because I think if I just have one of the items be a Patreon exclusive, that is something that's still really nice for my patrons, but still allows me to work on stuff for my shop at the same time, since I don't really have a lot of patrons currently. So I am hoping that once I get more, eventually these things will completely be Patreon exclusive. And if this month works out where I do have extra things on top of it, then I won't have to worry about not having enough stuff for my shop, because I will have, you know, a couple of items that goes to my shop that's in the same theme, but everything else that actually goes out to my patrons will be Patreon exclusive. But that's not how it is currently. There's just going to be one item included that's a patron exclusive, which I'm excited about. So enough blabbing, let me actually start working on the sketches. Hello. Okay, so today is May 6th. So I do have a ton of sketches that I ended up doing for Patreon reward ideas. So I definitely want to do some more kind of star witch designs. I'm really into kind of like the celestial feelings and just stars and witchy things, but I also wanted to try to get some like washi tape and stuff for that. I actually have an idea for washi tape for a couple of ideas that I have, so like it may not matter. But I also came up with an idea for cottage core and also some like Alice in Wonderland vibes. Stay tuned, you'll be seeing some things. But yeah, so I've been working on that, and there'll be a separate vlog to deep dive into the next month's Patreon. Okay, trying something a little bit different. I'm asking Instagram what next month Patreon reward should be. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. Fingers crossed that I get some feedback. I ordered a bunch of stamps. I ordered their biggest size and their second biggest size, which means I should now have one of all of their different sizes. I am nervous because the first one I ordered was supposed to be their biggest size, but I don't know, somewhere in the process I think it switched over to the smallest size. That was an error on my end. Here is what they look like when you open them up. Okay, that looks good! Ah, yes! Okay, so this is technically the same one that I ordered before, but in the size it was supposed to be, and it's nice and huge. Now this other one, I'm not sure if it's going to be a size that I want it to be. I'll test this out in a second. Okay, yeah, that looks like a good size. So I can order the last one if this works out. And now I have an example of all of their different types of stamps. I have one of their, granted it's only in one size, so I have one of their self-inking stamps, and then I have 3 of their traditional stamps. And they all come with inking pads, so that was very successful. The first time I had all kinds of issues with my orders. So I'm happy that this worked out correctly. Oh well, this one's going to my mom, so sorry, Mom. Okay, and then this was the smallest size. I'm sure you can see how disappointed I was when I got this, but I was expecting this. Again, error on my end, but still pretty upsetting. Okay, and then this is the new one. Yes. And then I know what goodies are inside. So this is my Grimoire tier stamp. I might actually need to get another one because I'm thinking of making another tier, but I can do that when that happens. And then the last one is their self-inking stamp, which works really well. I was planning on using for these, although these actually are too small for everything that I actually gift, because I usually include a postcard or a print. All right, now it is time for a little impromptu short speed paint thing going on. So this is a sketch that I ended up doing that was inspired actually by a really, really old, I think, Inktober drawing that I did ages ago. And I ended up doing a sketch in my sketchbook that I was really happy with. So I wanted to see if I could kind of finish that out. I do really like weird things in art, and kind of that like magical whimsical things. I like drawing like monster girls and cyclopses, and in this case like a witchy character with a third eye. And I really kind of liked the experience of doing the line art for the face. And I think it actually turned out pretty good for the most part, but admittedly, I ended up struggling with this piece kind of outside of this part. The eyes were fun. I'm still, I don't know, I'm still trying to figure out how I want to do eyes. I want to play around with them a little bit more in general. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how I do my eyes, but I don't know, it's kind of fun to see if I can improve them a little bit more, give them a little bit more life. And then again, I get to the hair and I struggle a bit. I think this is where things kind of go downhill for me. I don't know, it just wasn't quite going the way that I want. I think personally I want to play around and try different things with hair in general, because it seems to be a spot that has been quite a bit of a struggle area for me. I'm just not happy with how I do hairs. Admittedly, one of the more recent, I guess, I think it was the last video, the Mermaid Week 4, I was pretty happy with how the hair turned out for that one in the end, and I struggled quite a bit on that one initially. But I might try to do something like that with this in the future if I ever get around to finishing it, because admittedly I don't end up finishing this piece. Okay, so I am working on inking and digitizing this sketch here, and I was listening to an audiobook, The Deep by River Solomon, while I'm doing that, because this week I'm working on a mermaid themed reading channel on my Book and Life YouTube. So if you guys are interested in that, head on over there. I'll have it linked down below. But yeah, so I'm sitting here looking at the line art and I'm losing some things that I really like, because what tends to happen with some of my sketches, specifically the thumbnail type sketches that I do in my ugly sketchbook, is that the details are kind of funky and not fleshed out, and I can fix that when I go to line art. But there are some instances where the way that I sketch it, maybe I put a little bit more detail, time, and energy into certain parts, and it's, big enough that I can add details. And in those instances, sometimes I lose something that's a little magical or really nice from the original sketch. And I feel like that's happened here, which is interesting, because when I look at the original sketch itself, see it, and I feel like it needs a lot of work. But in all honesty, I feel like the truth is it just needs feet and some work on this hand, while everything else actually feels pretty good. So that's not super refreshing when it comes to me trying to ink things out. Another part of me wonders if this would be a good one to try out some different rendering techniques. Perhaps I can try a lineless version. That will mean that I won't have line art of this one to use for my digital rewards, but similar to last month, April, I think, I can always do the line art after the fact, because I typically enjoy line art, but I'm finding that it is becoming an issue with how I draw. And I don't know if that's just because I haven't improved my line art skills, like my techniques need work, or if it's because of the style that I do, but that seems incorrect. I feel like it's more the inking technique, not necessarily my style, because if somebody else inked this drawing, I feel like they could still have more of the feeling that I'm hoping to get out of my art without really changing too much of the vibe. I'm thinking that I'm starting to lose the direction that I'm going for in the inking stage, which is very frustrating because I love inking, but I don't think I actually properly ink stuff. I mostly just do basic line art. I don't know, maybe I'll play around with this off camera, which seems a little upsetting because I'd like to record all of this. So I just spent some time making some little envelopes that I can use for shop orders and gifts to include in the shop orders. So I wanted to have packaging that was pretty easy for me to keep up with. So right now I'm just playing around with things, and I figured if I go in this direction, it might be something that I like sit down every once in a while and prep these. I don't know if this will work in the long run because I imagine it might be fairly time consuming to set these up, but if I have everything prepared, perhaps it won't be that bad. And then I was hoping to possibly do something like this as well, or probably a more simplified version for my Patreon rewards. But one of the problems that I end up having is that for the physical reward tiers, I try to make it as affordable as possible for my patrons because it's mostly a big thank you to them, because them doing all of that helps me to be able to add things to the shop and things like that. But I'm a little bit afraid that if I spend a bunch of time putting together really fancy packaging and whatever, that in the long run it'll be more expensive than what I'm actually getting, because I'm constantly trying to give bonuses and extras and all that type of goodies for my patrons. So I do have to be careful. I also don't like, I use regular envelopes for my Patreon rewards so that, again, it's more affordable to send things out, with the idea that if anything goes wrong, that my patrons can always reach out and I can help them and make sure that they get their rewards in the end. But like, that seems to be the best way to go about it. Granted, we'll see once it becomes rainy season. That doesn't really happen around here that much anymore. But when it becomes rainy season, I might use some of my old like cellophane bags or something. I do have glycine bags that I wanted to use, but the ones that I have are too big to really fit in the envelopes that I use for the orders, so I'm not entirely sure what to do. I did get some smaller ones. These are supposed to be the like 4x6 ones, but they're too small for a 4x6 anything to go into it, so I can't use that either. So I guess I'm just playing around trying to figure out what I can do. Okay, so I came up with a possible solution for Patreon packaging. So I could print out, or not print out, but stamp out the tier. So this is the grimoire tier. And then I can still use the little book paper and then the scraps for the belly band and use that to wrap up the rewards. I don't know if I would do this for the witch's hat or just the postcard tier. but I might. Now, that being said, even though I think I'm going to try to do these for my Patreon rewards, this isn't going to go out until June because I already shipped out most of May's rewards. I am nervous that this might be too much for me to keep up with, but I'll at least do it for June and see how it goes. Okay, now it's time to update the website. So here's what my website looks like before updating. It's taking a while to load the backgrounds, but I don't know, it's just kind of clunky. It needed a lot of work. I did like the general idea behind it, but I don't think it was very smooth, especially when it came to the mobile version. So I wanted to make some adjustments, both just for the overall look and then also to the user experience. So I'm going through all of the pages and now we can start updating it. Now, right off the bat, the front page looks a lot better in my opinion. There is still some work that needs to be done overall. At this point, I decided that I wanted to kind of spread out some of the products when you get to the actual shop page, and then I also decided to remove the makeshift sub menu and actually have a regular sub menu because in Wix, which is the system that I use, they've made an updated version for the mobile layout, which if you use a regular sub menu, it just makes it a lot easier to navigate on your phone. And I've gotten the most complaints with using my shop on the phone, although a lot of them just had to do with people saying that the products weren't there, and that was just because my shop wasn't live at that time. But now that it's live basically 24/7, I again just wanted to make sure that the experience was nice. And then I also made a little bit of an adjustment to the portfolio, although I still need to add some new pieces, which I'll probably do once I get to the part where I'm actually adding things to the shop. So I will continue to work on this a little bit more before the shop launch, but I'm really happy with the small changes that I did make. I do feel like it's overall a lot better of an experience to go through. Here on the GM Witch side, I just updated my little intro video, and as you can see, I ended up using the preview. Another thing that you don't really see on screen is that I also actually, every time I published it, I tested things out on my phone since like the shop is live and everything's pretty much just ready to go. So this is already updated, but I will, like I said, try to continue to update this on a fairly regular basis until I get something that I'm just like really happy with. But already I feel like it's significantly better. And so far, at least like my patrons, because I shared this with my patrons, a couple of people said that they liked the website update, so I'm really happy about it, and I really appreciate everybody who's like checked it out and let me know. So that is that. Okay, so I ended up doing a bunch of printing and I adjusted my settings so that things are a little bit brighter, a little bit more like what you see on the screen. I do like the dark version in addition, so I don't know, I might play around with it more on individual prints. Yeah, so I ended up doing that, and then I ended up printing out some of my new prints. Printing out new prints, yay! I was sitting up here saying how I'm like, I'm not gonna be, you know, buying more paper until I use up all of my paper, but this might be one of the ones that I restock as I continue, and I'll try and use the other papers for different types of prints that I do, but like my fancier prints, I'm definitely going to try and use this paper because it's so nice. I did have an issue where my printer did not want to accept the paper for this one. I'm not going to print more than what what I'm currently printed. I'm just going to have these guys as backup, so like 2 of each basically. And then I'm going to do photo shoots, and I'm gonna try and do print on demand. Okay, so far I have printed out 4 prints, 2 on a cotton paper, so a nice cotton paper, and 2 on a gloss, and I'm so happy with how all of them are turning out. I think this is going to be an awesome shop update. Hopefully you guys are into these, because like I'm really proud. But yeah, I'm thinking for a limited run that I will hand embellish this one and basically add some gold paint on top. So I'm going to test that out and see how it looks, and if it's good, then I'll do a limited amount or something like that. I don't know how many I'll do. like I don't know if it'll be just like a thing, or if I'm just gonna do a couple of them. I don't know. So I'll probably start with a small number and see like how people take it, and I might increase it a little bit, but obviously there's gonna be some point where I stop doing it. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll keep it up as long as I feel confident with that. But right now, I think I'm going to take some Insta story posts to get people excited about the shop update, and just, you know, say, oh, shop update next month, you know, prepping, getting ready, hopefully to build some hype and excitement about future products. Fingers crossed? I don't know. I'm hoping that if I start talking about it early, that when the actual update happens, more people are excited about it and I get more sales when it launches. Not that that's really gonna help me in the long run, because naturally I would rather have a steady number of sales, like every week, a more regular number, versus it being an influx whenever I do a launch or an update and then not a lot after that. So I'm gonna have to work on figuring out how to even it out a little bit. Like, it is nice when you do a shop update to get an influx of orders. Obviously that's really nice, but I still want the rest of the month to be, I don't know how to describe it. But now that I'm going to be doing things in smaller batches, well, I don't know, I'm going to be doing print on demand for some things. So I'm going to see how that goes. Fingers crossed it's not like terrible. I do have a couple of everything, so I think I'll use them as like backups basically. If I have any issues, I have a couple that are already made. And like having 2 of a stock of something is not nearly as bad as having 50 or something like that. So I think if they don't sell and I only have 2 on hand, like that's not the end of the world. It doesn't take up a lot of space. I'm also thinking I might get photo sleeve albums or something to keep these in, so that I can like flip through easily and get them, since I'll only have like 2 or 3 at a time. I don't know, but let's get to it. Okay, fun stuff. I ended up finishing the print illustration for June's design. I'm pretty sure I'm going to make that a speed painting. So right now we have the print, one of the bookmark faces. I don't have a background for it. The second bookmark design and its background. And then we have a couple of patterns to use. There's technically this pattern as well, but I didn't fill in the hearts everywhere, so I took it off of this spot. And then we have the sticker sheet. So since I'm not feeling well, I ended up taking a nap, and when I woke up I decided that I was going to look into washi tape, trying to find a washi tape manufacturer, and I found one in the United States, so I'm going to test it out, and if all goes well I'll give you guys some information, because it was probably the most convenient order I've done, and it had free shipping, which meant a lot, but we will see how it turns out. It's supposed to take 3 to 3.5 weeks though to get here, but if I design the washi tape early and often, then I theoretically should be able to do these every month, right? Because it takes roughly a month. So as long as I order it the month before I need it, I should be good. We will see. I'm so excited. Okay, we did it. We made it through the whole thing. I know we kind of stopped pretty quickly, abruptly. I realized that there was a lot of footage going on, and I was originally going to have these 2 vlogs worth of stuff in one vlog, but I decided to cut it up because I'm not even done with the shop prep and there's still a lot to do. So I knew it needed its own video. So if you want to see more about the shop prep update thing, come back. The update is going to happen on June 10th, and so will the vlog where I finalize everything and get everything prepped and ready. So we've got a lot of printing and a lot of stuff going on. We've got some physical goodies that are supposed to come, and it's gonna be a good time, hopefully. If you stuck around until the end, be sure to include this emoji to let me know. And thank you so much. You are awesome. Panda Squad, I don't know if you've been around that long, but Panda Squad for sure. I should probably make some Panda Squad merch for the shop, anybody who's like part of the Panda Squad. Also, I feel like I should also remind you, I will be posting the Last Mermaid video next Monday, so stay tuned for that. And then starting next month, I will be posting every Thursday, so I will at least post 1 video a week. I have a couple of things that I've got planned. I've got the 2 first videos planned, and then I have a couple of ideas for the other ones, and then I wanted to do extras, but I think I'm gonna try to stick to just 1 a week. Stay tuned, get prepped, get excited. Also check out my Discord because I do video updates there. And if you're a patron, you get behind the scenes stuff. Oh, I should promote my Patreon. I'm so bad at this. This whole thing should have been a slight Patreon promo, and then I just forget to be like, if you liked what you saw, check out my Patreon. If you want the exclusive Cyclops Mermaid print or postcard, do sign up before the end of May. I have some exciting stuff coming up in June, which I believe you'll see in the next vlog, and also in the beginning of next month. I am rambling at this point, so thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section down below, and if you'd like to see more stuff like this moving forward, be sure to subscribe. I'm gonna try to be all over the place. You'll see the process. You'll see the behind the scenes. All the things. And yeah, I think that's enough for me. Yeah, until next time, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!